Representative democracy in Nigeria. Representative democracy in Nigeria. Why do we need representative democracy in Nigeria? First, our representative government in Nigeria is representative. Okay, so why democracy? Why do we need democracy in our country and even all other nations of the world? So the answers to this question will be discussed in this video, okay, on representative democracy in Nigeria. First of all, let's look at the meaning of democracy. Democracy literally means rule by the people. It's ideal that people who are affected by decisions are the ones who make these decisions. Basic principles of democracy is the right to free and fair vote. The most popular vote wins in the election, and there are two types of democracy. We have direct democracy. In direct democracy, the people directly make decisions. This is what happened in ancient Athens, where the people are meant to vote on matters affecting them. This system is made more manageable because of the fact that women and slaves are not allowed to vote in this system. First, this form of democracy will be very hard to work in a large modern society. It is hard for you to see how people have to leave every of the schedules to come in for voting. Now, this system uses referendum. Direct democracy will be impossible to achieve in today's society. A different form of democracy operates, and that is representative democracy, also known as indirect democracy, that we see in our society today. The people choose representatives to make decisions on their behalf. Representatives are chosen through regular, competitive, and free and fair elections. Representatives should be sensitive to the people's needs because if they fail, they could be voted out in the next election. So the major difference is that in direct democracy, the people deliberate on their issues, while in indirect democracy, representatives represent the people in decision making. The question is, why do we need representative democracy? Okay. Most democratic governments in the world are representative. Most democratic governments in the world. Okay, so one important reason is that it will be impossible for every adult citizen of a country to be part of the government. Imagine if all adult Nigerians were in our government. The government would be so large that it will not be able to work. So there would be too many people trying to decide what the government should do. So talking about representative government in Nigeria, they are of two chambers. We have the House of Senate, which is made up of 109 members, and the House of Representatives, which is made up of 360 members. They are all drawn from the geopolitical zone of Nigeria. The image before you is that of the Nigerian Senate. I told you earlier that there are 109 members of the Nigerian Senate, and you call them senators. Then this other image is that of members of House of Representatives. There are 360 members drawn from different geographical zones of Nigeria. So each of these chambers have their leaders. For the Nigerian Senate, the image before you is the Nigerian Senate President. His name is Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan. Okay, and the House of Representatives, the leader is Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila. His name is Femi Gbajabiamila. Okay, so what is representative democracy? Now, it's simply the form of government where the citizens are qualified to choose their own representative to rule on their behalf. This form is complicated and can easily go wrong if not properly operated. Okay, so representative democracy is citizen-influenced form of democracy. However, how representative is representative democracy? Okay, we can see here that representative democracy is a form of democracy in which people vote for representatives who then vote on policy initiatives as opposed to a direct democracy. So, a form of democracy in which people vote on policy initiatives directly. Okay, so characteristics of this representative democracy, and then we're looking at the main features of a representative democracy. It's just for the broadening of knowledge. So, one of the characteristics is that there's high corruption rate. Okay, there's this lobbying in the house so that these policies can go. Then we have the majority rules. We have freedom to vote for personal choice. Okay, these are the characteristics of representative democracy. Then you have negligence in voting. You have bad voting for representative. Okay, then people's right is power to vote. So all these are the characteristics of representative democracy. So let's look at the main features. They are almost the same thing. So the power of the elected representative are defined by a constitution that establishes the basics laws, principles, and framework of the government. So whoever that is representing any region goes there to represent the biddings of the people who sent them. Why is representative democracy? In it, the power is in the hands of the representatives who are elected by the people. So political parties are often central to this form of democracy because electoral systems requires voters to vote for political parties as opposed to individual representatives. In other words, what we are trying to say is that in this form of democracy, that is representative democracy, it is the people that elect the decision makers. So politicians are being elected to go and make decisions for their people. Okay, the major difference between this direct democracy and representative democracy, we are more concerned with representative democracy because that's what we are practicing in the recent time. So in direct democracy, people vote on policies directly, which makes them have influence on the outcome of result. But in representative democracy, the voters does not have direct control over the outcome of the result. So you can see the difference, okay? In direct democracy, the people influence the outcome of the decision making. Now, the benefits of representative democracy, it's numerous, okay? So one of the advantage is its efficiency. A large group of people receive the benefit of living in a democracy by having one representative vote according to their needs, wishes, or desires. And again, it saves time. It saves time. Unlike when you have everyone trying to put in their opinion, like the direct democracy. One major drawback of the system of government, okay, it's that this kind of democracy is that elected officials are not required to fulfill promises made before their election and are able to promote their own self-interest once elected, and that's common in Nigeria, providing an incohesive system of governance. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and please do upload your video assignment. Be good.